What's up, wedding industry professionals? My name is Jonathan here with the Venue RX podcast. I am excited about today's topic because I think it impacts all of us in one way or another. Whether you own a business in the wedding or events industry, whether you are a business owner in a different industry, or whether you are currently employed by someone who is in this space, understanding proper employee culture, understanding how to correctly work with your teammates and work with your employees is, I think, one of the most important skills that you can have, and one of the big unlocks that I think will make the difference between you being a mediocre business where you're just getting by and a truly successful business. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, you guys, so there is a huge shift that's happening in our industry right now, and you may have experienced it yourself. It is this massive migration of talent and migration of employees that is happening in our industry. And I'm actually curious, for anyone listening out there, are you in a market that you feel like has not been impacted by this? What I mean by that is, are you in a market that you feel has not been impacted by, hiring issues that I know so many people are facing, and it's easy to find people, and a lot of different people are eager to work with you maybe when you put out a job ad or something like that. If that's you, if you're in a market that it's super easy to do that, let me know in the comments, because I gotta move there, actually. It's definitely a struggle here in Southern California, and all the business owners that I've talked to, definitely in places across the country as well, have told me the same thing, that it's so hard to find quality people. One of the things that I've noticed here in my own market here in Southern California is that there is this massive migration and shift that's happening. A sales manager from a catering company will be quitting and moving over to a different catering company. A venue manager from one venue will become a sales manager. We'll have coordinators who will go and start working for, photo booth companies. Like, all sorts of different things are happening, and the world is changing very, very quickly. And as a business owner, that's very scary, because we have so much going on as it is. September, October, November, we're dealing with all of the postponed weddings from, the heart of COVID to now booking new weddings. And so we're busier than we ever have been before. And now, to top it all off, it's so hard to find quality people, like it's always been, but of course, in this new environment, it's even more difficult. So how do you, as a small business owner, take advantage of this big migration and actually attract the incredible, awesome people who now may be looking for jobs to come work for you, so you're able to take on that business? How do you do that? And how do you not lose the current awesome employees that you have? All right, step number one for me is really being honest and taking a look at your systems, your processes, the current employees you have now, and taking an honest look, but also listening honestly, and listening to understand and listening to hear, not just to respond. And I've said this in past videos before, but it's so important. If you ask an employee, hey, how are you doing? And what you're hoping to hear back is, I'm doing great. I'm so excited about this work that's coming up, and all these different things. When you walk into it with that expectation, there's an energy there that they feel, and it really closes you off to them explaining what's actually going on in their life. And what ends up happening is, out of nowhere, you'll get blindsided, because this person will say, oh my goodness, I'm gonna end up moving, or I'm gonna be, I wanna switch careers, or I don't really love what I'm doing right now. And you, as the business owner, feel blindsided, when in fact you didn't really spend the appropriate time with that employee. And I know I've been guilty of this before. We actually had someone quit recently who told me that, she didn't feel like I made myself accessible enough to her. And, while it's easy for me as the business owner in this scenario to come up with all these excuses and these different things, the fact of the matter is that I didn't make myself available enough to her. And so she felt like she wasn't able to approach me with some of the things that were concerning her about her role. And so of course she quit, and she's gonna go work for someone else potentially. But the issue here, of course, is that I wasn't taking the appropriate time to spend time and make myself available to that team member and to my other team members. And I know this is hard to do. I know as a small business owner, you have so many different things going on, but we've really got to take this time, because in listening, you're also going to hear the things that your company is doing well. And so that's the second part of this, and then really the second half of this coin is understanding what your company does really well, understanding why the employees that you currently do have love working for you, and then doubling and tripling down on that in your efforts to try to attract new talent on your team. So for example, if people love working with you because you're so knowledgeable and they feel like they're getting an education in the industry while they're working with you, then you know that you should kind of market that, and as you go talk to people about working with your company, you've got to say, hey, we focus a lot on professional and personal development, and my current employees that I have now love working with us because they feel like they grow in their roles. And that's huge. It's a huge selling point to people. So I want to just put those two things in front of you. One, just really taking an honest look at the processes and systems that your company has and how you can fix them, how you can make yourself more available to your employees. And then on the flip side of that, understanding what your company really does well and how you can leverage that to attract awesome talent into your team to continue growing your business. Thanks so much for listening today. I really appreciate it. We're actually going to be launching a hiring course here in about 30 days. And so I'll give you more information on that as it becomes available. But thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video.